Hey, what's up, listener? Thanks for pressing play. This week on the Jock and Nerd podcast, we got the Jock's thoughts on the Khabib-McGregor fight, an extended trailer for Aquaman, Warner Brothers snaps up James Gunn for a DC movie, extras for the Joker movie, forced to pee in the subway, and Scarlett Johansson lands a well-deserved huge payday for the Black Widow solo movie. Plus, our review of Venom, lots of fun audio and listener emails, and a whole bunch more, all in this edition of the Jock and Nerd Weekly for Thursday, October 11th, 2018.
Check. Check one. All right. This is really fans out there. Let's give it up. We jockin', we nerdin'. We funny, disturbing. We jockin', we nerdin'. We spoiler alert. Oh yeah. We jockin', we nerdin'. We funny, disturbing. Oh yeah. I'm jockin', we nerdin'. We spoiler alert.
Oh yeah, that's what's up, listener. That's what's up. Welcome. Thanks for joining us this week, and welcome to the Jock and Nerd podcast, giving you comic book and superhero TV and movie news, reviews, and whatever we choose. Jock and Nerd. My name is Imran.
My name's Anthony.
He's the Jock.
He's the Nerd.
And back, recovering almost 100% Rugberto Bambino, but you know him as Rug Boy. What's up, Rugs? Welcome back.
Almost 100%.
Are you?
I'm like 70%.
Oh shit! I was way off.
Yeah.
When you eat trash every day, you don't really get better.
Listen, my constitution is weak. Everybody knows this.
If you had to give yourself a Rotten Tomato score on your health, what would it be right now?
It would be more than Venom got.
Oh shit! There you go. So you're doing pretty good.
Yeah, if you're looking at Rotten Tomato scores, then I'm all right.
Rugs, skews higher on Metacritic. We're so glad to have you back, Rugs. I did miss you. If you're a new listener,
Did you really miss me? I heard a lot of fuck Rug Boy.
That's true.
When I listened to the show.
That may have came out.
You might have said that. Imran might have said that.
Me? It wasn't me. I don't know.
I'm sure it was Imran. Yeah.
Of course it was me. Look, check the tape. I don't know what we say on these shows. I put it out of my mind.
Fine.
The minute it's published.
Listen, I couldn't do the show even if I wanted to.
No,
even if you guys wanted me, I couldn't do it.
We need a healthy felty.
I can barely talk.
Healthy felties.
Healthy felty.
Is the new, that's the new thing. Healthy felty.
The return.
The return of the felty. Guess who's back? If you're a new listener, thanks for checking us out. Make sure you visit our website, jockandnerd.com, where you will find show notes to this episode at jockandnerd.com/243. What are show notes? Well, listener, it's just a blog post where the episode audio is embedded and there's a bunch of links of everything we talk about. Why is this useful? For example, someone commented on our Facebook group. I couldn't find it, but someone was like, hey, Catwoman, what the fuck was really funny. What are the other 9 episode numbers of the What the Fucks? And I was like, just click in the show notes. It's very simple. You just go jockandnerd.com/the number of the episode. All 9 What the Fuck links are in there. Now that we have 10 of them, I should do
What are you?
Like a special section, like a What the Fuck happened
sound like
page.
Jar Jar Binks.
I may should.
I sound like
Misa.
Tom Waits, and you sound like Jar Jar Binks.
All right, look, Ruggs is back. We got a lot of news and reviews, and whatever we choose to discuss, let's get to it.
The Jock and Nerd podcast.
Before we get to the nerdin', listener, and boy, there will be some nerdin', we're going to start with some jockin'.
Hey.
Bro, do you even podcast?
He does, and he has thoughts. Anthony, last episode you mentioned this big fight. Khabib versus McGregor. Well, the fight happened, and extracurriculars happened, and I watched a bunch of videos, and holy shit, this was the most entertaining, amazing fucking thing. Anthony, breakdown for a listener that maybe doesn't know what's going on, how the fight went, what happened, and what happened post-fight.
Oh, man. So if you've been listening to Patreon, this is going to be a bit redundant. So sorry, but not everyone pays for bonus content. So,
Not yet.
Not yet.
Get on that.
And you should. You definitely should. $1 a month. Very easy. Khabib Nurmagomedov, whatever you want to call him, was defending his 155-pound title against the returning Conor McGregor. These two have a bit of a rivalry. Back in April, Conor McGregor threw a dolly at Khabib's bus.
Wow.
Because Khabib had slapped Conor McGregor's teammate the day prior. So there's been a bit of bad blood. McGregor's been talking a lot of shit about his family, religion, country, all sorts of stuff. You also have the fact that sporting wise, this was the fight to make. Khabib is the lightweight champion, undefeated, and Conor McGregor never really lost his titles. He had the lightweight belt, and he's basically the biggest star in the sport. So they had a huge fight, and Khabib basically dominated the fight, won by rear naked choke in the 4th round, and then proceeded to jump out of the cage, attack Conor's team.
Shit.
Some of Khabib's teammates jumped in the cage and attacked Conor McGregor. There was a big brawl inside and outside the cage, just maximum chaos. And yeah, that was about it.
Shit! I love
that's the quick rundown. If you were living under a rock and hadn't
you
heard
forgot the
about
part
any of
where
this.
Vince McMahon came out.
Yeah,
and then got a chair, hit somebody, and then went. Or is that the same thing we're talking about?
Yeah,
Or is
this was taking a page out of WWE. I felt like for the audience, it was like an immersive experience. Like, hey, you get punched, and you get punched. Everybody gets punched.
My favorite thing was Drake's reaction.
Yes.
They had a shot of Drake looking like he shit his pants.
That was hilarious. And then I think Chris Pratt was there, and he's like, I'm okay, guys. I didn't get punched.
Yeah, it was full on chaos.
But wow, dude, the reverse angle of the shot of Khabib leaping out of the cage towards, who's that blonde dude? What's that blonde dude's name?
His name is Dylan Dennis.
Dennis.
He is Conor McGregor's jiu-jitsu coach.
Is that who he slapped before?
No.
Oh, that's a different guy. Anyways, that shot of him just leaping over right on top of Dennis was fucking crazy. But then you also see Khabib's guys like kind of all thug-like around the thing, like pushing people and jumping in. And one dude, like there's security guards are walking by and dudes are just jumping into the octagon just in front of the fucking security guard. And the guy cold cocks him from behind. This was amazing. This was so entertaining.
So what do you make of this, Anthony? Is this all theater?
Yeah. Oh, no.
It's all real? Really?
It's real. Oh, yeah. I mean, you have to keep in mind, Conor threw a dolly at this man's bus and had like 40 guys out there waiting for him in April.
But this creates a story that they could sell for another fight.
Yeah, they can definitely create a story. But here's the thing, man. Conor talked a lot of shit coming into this fight.
When doesn't he, though?
He always does. But, I mean, he attacked Khabib's father. He brought up like religious stuff, political stuff about Dagestan and Chechnya. Khabib is the type of man that is really about that life. Like, grew up in war-torn Dagestan.
Yeah,
like,
you don't fuck with those guys.
You don't talk about his family like that. Like, he's very much a big honor person. So, Conor kind of had it coming. I mean, it's not the. It's quite stupid what he did. Like, no one is talking about the performance he put on. He dominated that fight, but no one's talking about that. Everyone's talking about the brawl. Like, everyone's forgotten that the fight even happened inside the ring.
Yeah.
So on Khabib's part, it's stupid, but it's all real. It's all it's all legit stuff, and Conor had it coming.
Do you think there's going to be a rematch, or is Conor just like peacing out? He's like, I've had enough.
Conor's already talking about a rematch. I mean, the numbers are coming out, and it looks like they sold over 2.3 million pay-per-views, which is a shit ton of cash. It's the most UFC pay-per-views ever sold. So, I mean, Conor already wants a rematch. If it's from the sport level, Conor doesn't deserve a rematch. The next guy in line is Tony Ferguson. Conor got his ass kicked. From the business aspect, you could probably make some money with a rematch. So, we'll see what happens.
Is this out of character for Khabib? That's what I kept hearing. Like that.
Yeah, I mean, he's gotten into some brawls before, but nothing like this after a fight. This is the first time after a fight. He's gotten into brawls.
Yeah, if you win, you just like that's it.
Most of the time the winner doesn't act like this.
I mean, it was right afterwards. Like they were talking shit, and he just threw his mouth.
There's a lot of rumors that the guy that he attacked, Dylan Dennis, was screaming during the fight that
like racist
Khabib
shit
was a Muslim rat.
Jesus. So wait, let me ask you this. Isn't shit talking part of this whole sport?
Oh, yeah, it's fighting.
So did this go too far past a certain line of shit talk? Like, on the one hand, shouldn't Khabib just be able to take this and not react?
I mean, it's fighting. So first off, it's not like we're dealing with checkers here.
Yeah.
Like, this is real emotion. Everyone has their certain lines, man. Some people can take it, and it's obvious that Khabib's line was crossed, and even after the fight, he was so enraged that he couldn't even enjoy his victory.
Conor got in his head then, pretty much, which is probably what
Conor
he wanted to do.
Conor got in his head for sure.
Damn, and when was the last time McGregor fought? When was his last fight?
Well, he had the boxing match with Mayweather, but the last time he fought in UFC was 2 years ago.
2 years ago? Oh, shit. Jesus. Man, so Wow. You got to be pretty rusty after 2 years.
Yeah.
That was crazy. This is the
Crazy
guy
fight.
I kind of want to talk about now based on this audio clip.
I'm here with the winner, Derek Lewis. Derek, why'd you take your pants off? My balls was hot.
This is I don't know anything about this guy, Derek Lewis, but I fucking love him. Like,
He's fantastic.
One of the greatest post-fight interviews. Super funny and relatable and down to earth. Tell me about this guy.
So Derek Lewis, actually, like 2 days ago, got announced to fight in the next. So UFC has a pay-per-views every month, and they run a bunch of other events. But pay-per-views, they need like a main event. And this next pay-per-view is in November, like the first weekend in November. And they needed a main event because it's in New York, Madison Square Garden. So they always go big for that one. They couldn't find a main event. So after Derek Lewis won this fight, they offered him a main event heavyweight title shot against Daniel Cormier in like 4 weeks' notice. And they're going to fight next month.
Damn.
So they're just capitalizing. Like, Derek Lewis gained like 1 million followers on Instagram after this fight.
I mean, I even know about him from now. We got this.
All I know about him is his balls are hot.
My balls was hot.
I got this clip now.
He is hilarious. Like, he is one of the funniest dudes. If you follow him on Instagram, he's hilarious. All his post-fight interviews are funny as hell. There was one fight where he fought this guy named Travis Brown, who's currently married to Ronda Rousey.
Oh.
But before he was dating Ronda Rousey, there was like allegations of domestic violence. So after Derek Lewis beat him, he like was talking about how he knew he had more heart than Travis Brown because he likes to put his hands on women. And then he was like, after he ended the interview, he's like, where Ronda Rousey's fine ass at?
Oh, shit, he's great.
But he's hilarious. Like, every fight he's in, I kid you not, he gets his ass kicked for 90% of that fight and then somehow comes back and wins. Like,
wow.
He is fat and out of shape and really not even that good, but he can fucking hit you with one shot and you're down.
What did he say about putting women's legs up in the air?
Oh, yeah. And then he was like, well, what are you going to do to celebrate? He's like, I think I'll put my wife's legs up in the air and see what happens.
I love when they're like, you want to take on Connor? And he's like, my black ass needs some cardio. I'm tired after one fight. Like, I love this guy. Great personality.
He's hilarious.
And like, is this slipping though closer to WWE shenanigans with this fucking brawl, or are they going to be all right? They pull it back. And
I mean, everyone's talking about it.
Yeah,
so
got so much press, man.
They might do this in the future because it's building so much hype.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not the smartest way to go about it, but...
Oh, people are getting ideas. People are getting ideas now.
Any attention for the UFC is good attention.
Yeah, if I hype shit up, then more people will watch, and then I'll be a rising star. If I say something funny like my balls are hot, there's gonna be my prediction is that every post-fight interview is gonna be people talking about their balls.
My balls was hot.
It's entertainment at the end of the day.
It is. No, that's a lot of fun. Listener, if you want to join in on this conversation, it's going on right now at our Facebook group called Jock and Nerd Nation. It's an exclusive closed group just for our listeners. Definitely sign up. Lots of fun shenanigans. You can chop it up with all the great listeners there. For example, right now, Jess Rivera posted a leaked trailer description for Avengers 4.
Geek Boner.
I did not read it. I read the first 3 lines, and then I'm like, no, I'm not going to read this.
Where was that at?
It's on
our page?
It's a series of graphics where this guy goes, he starts off with like, I'm not gonna tell you where I got this, but you're gonna come back after the trailer comes out and thank me, and then he continues. Anthony, you like reading these things, don't
I
you?
do, yeah.
All right, well, if you do, it's at the Nation.
Now, wait, I'm gonna go back to UFC real quick.
Yeah.
Now, did he like take his pants off during the fight? Is that what
No,
he did?
after the
Right
fight, he's
afterwards,
got his
yeah.
like shorts off and they're out draped over his shoulder, and you can see an official be like, "Put your shorts back."
He's
And
just
Joe
wearing his-
Rogan immediately, without skipping a beat, before any questions, like, "Why do you have your pants off?"
My balls was hot.
That's
There you go.
why I love having that clip. It's
yeah, I didn't see that
fantastic.
fight. I only saw the main event.
Right
All
out.
right,
Yeah.
I'm just grabbing my whole attention for some reason.
I mean, it's great.
obsessed with
I mean, it's like comic books, man. It's great soap opera storylines that even a nerd like me can relate to. Going, this shit was fucking crazy. And
If you want to talk about your hot balls, go to the join the Facebook.
yeah, that's right. There's more hot balls there. Also, send in your roast audio. We're doing it for our 250th episode. I already got some entries for the episode. So the fun has begun.
I can't wait to see this. shit.
Just visit jockandnerd.com/contact for all the ways to get in touch with us. All right, let's move on to, I thought it was really neat and progressive the way Warner Brothers and DC like released Aquaman on YouTube, like the whole movie they just put out. I was like, wow.
You don't even have to see it anymore.
I don't have
You've
to
seen all the
watch
best
it anymore.
parts.
Oh, wait a minute. That was a trailer, wasn't it? But I saw whole scenes in this extended video. What'd you guys think of this extended 5-minute fucking trailer?
Did it get you hyped, Anthony? Are you pumped with
I'm
John
not
Bellotti?
pumped.
I'm pumped. Yeah, me too.
I'm not pumped. I mean, it looks okay. I just the thing about that trailer is it's really badly edited. Like they just kind of throw 2 clips in there, and it's not really seamlessly weaved into what was going on prior. But overall, I mean, I'm not like saying that it looks bad or anything. They're definitely embracing the color. Like James Wan is definitely like running in the opposite direction of Snyder's aesthetic.
Yep.
And a lot of people ask for that. So, I mean, he's just going for it. So it looks like they're definitely going for something that is unlike anything I don't think I've ever seen before. I mean, a fucking underwater battle with like sharks and seahorses and stuff. Like they're going full out. I still don't think, what's his name?
Momoa.
Momoa is all that great in the lead.
Dirtbag,
I don't think,
bro Aquaman.
yeah, but I mean, shit, man. Even at the end when he has the yellow and
He's got
green
the
suit,
yellow
it kind
and
of looks
green.
all right.
It looks kind of cool.
So yeah, I mean, it looks. I'm intrigued. I like that they're at least like going full out on the fucking underwater, colorful, sea animal vibe with like crazy war.
I mean, it reminded me a little bit of like Brendan Fraser's The Mummy meets Indiana Jones meets some other things. That one tracking shot on the rooftops where Mira is running and then they pull back. First of all, that sequence is great. And they pull all the way back and you see Arthur and Black Manta fighting and you learn more about the king and the trident and what the story is. I'm kind of like, I guess this was the New York Comic Con footage that they just fucking plunked in the other trailer they had, which is this extra footage. But I'm pumped for this. Like, this got me excited. Like, this looks fun. It looks fun, and it's gonna be a fun ride. Ruggs?
Yeah, I would say that the art direction is kind of reminded me of Valerian.
Yeah.
If you saw that movie, it was full of CG. It was CG porn.
Yeah,
And it was colorful, and it had like a lot of dynamic senses to it. So I feel like it's kind of like in that same genre, same like wheelhouse as Valerian. I don't know. I mean, the tone it seems like it's kind of lighthearted.
Yeah.
I think that Black Manta looked pretty cool. And
the trench looks cool.
The trench looks pretty cool. I mean, it's very cartoony.
Yeah.
I don't mind that per se, but I mean, like, I kind of trust James Wan more than other directors. You know, because he's been involved in things that like kind of have taken hold and lasted. So I don't know. I'm waiting and seeing. Like I'm kind of like cautiously optimistic.
I didn't think the CG looked that bad. Watching it again,
it looks. It doesn't look bad. It does look. I don't know. I can't put my finger on it.
It's a designed realism. It's not a real realism.
Yes.
Yeah,
but it's consistent.
That's exactly. Yeah, there you go.
It's definitely consistent, and it's like, and I think Black Manta still looks fucking
definitely
sick.
Feels comic booky.
Yeah.
But you notice that it's not real. You're definitely noticing.
I mean, the only thing I'm worried about is the story. You know, it being kind of a Black Panther underwater.
I'm more worried that not that. I'm more worried that they've just got a lot going on.
There's a lot going on, and then you see a giant CG battle. Like, is this going to be the third act? Is that giant battle underwater with the two things? Like, is it just going to be?
I'm more worried about the fact that they have. It seems like they're doing multiple villains in the first movie.
Well,
you got Black Manta and you got Orm.
And you got Orm, Ocean Master. Probably Black Manta will not be a huge part. It may just be.
It might be a little thing, but then I don't want it to feel like tacked on.
Well,
either.
so James Wan and Momoa said they just scratched the surface, because I was like, man, they're showing a lot of this fucking movie. I hope they got more cool shit. And they're like, yeah, we got a lot more cool shit. So how big of a part are the Trench going to play, and Black Manta and Orm, and the story of the Atlanteans trying to wage war? That's a lot. That's a lot of shit right there.
Yeah, exactly.
So we'll see what happens. And you know what? Even Mira's red hair is growing on me. Amber Heard, she looks great. She's very, very cute in this.
Damn, Amber on about facing all over the place.
I like her. I like her red hair.
I don't like the red hair all that much, but I'm warming up to it because the color palette is so bright in this trailer.
Little splash of color always helps.
I mean, this is what. Hopefully the story is good and hopefully the movie's actually good. But everyone was complaining about dark and dreary Snyder look, so they've reacted to it.
It has the makings of being the best DCEU movie to date. If it could be, it could be.
I mean, Wonder Woman's the only movie it has to beat.
Yep, exactly.
I feel like the only thing that's weighing it down is Jason Momoa.
I would agree.
Yes, and hopefully the surrounding cast, like they use him well, and actually the surrounding cast carries everything, and he's just like, I could have peed on it. Okay, you're done, Momoa. Cut. Let's go to the next scene. He's just saying dumb shit all the time. But we'll see. Yeah, I mean, I can kind of see how can he lead? Can he hold the screen with his presence?
That's the only thing. Can he? It really is up to him.
Yeah.
Can he lead a movie?
Yeah.
That is not shit.
Hopefully, with so much going on, maybe they could pull a Black Panther where, everyone else was way more interesting than T'Challa in that movie.
Yes, everyone was way more interesting, but you know Boseman can act.
Yes, we already had that. We knew he could do it. So December 21st, end of the year, on that crazy crowded date, we'll get Aquaman. Another trailer that just came out today. I don't know if you guys had a chance to watch it.
I saw it.
Let me watch it right now.
Time jump. Talking nerd. It's the new trailer for M. Night Shyamalan's Glass, which is a sequel to Split, which was a secret sequel to Unbreakable.
Oh, shit.
Completing like a superhero trilogy. And I just watched Split recently, and I'm glad I did because it was very good, and I'm super pumped for Glass. What do you guys think of this trailer? We get a little more story, a little more character development, some more action scenes and shots of McAvoy. This thing looks amazing.
Well, I recently watched Unbreakable and I watched Split within the past 6 months.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, man, like M. Night Shyamalan looks like he's getting his mojo back.
Yes.
I hope he doesn't fuck this up. That's what I'm thinking.
Yes, this looks like good M. Night.
He's blown it
yes.
many times. So I'm cautiously hoping that he does not fuck this up. I'm hoping it's the old M. Night Shyamalan who understands what people want to see.
Yeah.
And I really think that he kind of tends to downplay a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And I think that people are hoping that it goes a little bit further than the other movies went.
Take it further in terms of development and like actually just getting to it. He does. The tension is great in Split and his great movies.
I'm talking about action-wise and things happening.
Yeah.
M. Night Shyamalan movies is a lot of nothing happening.
That's
a lot of waiting.
true. Yeah. It's a lot of just still shots, but there seems to be action in this movie.
I'm hoping there's some. It doesn't have to be a lot, but it has to be more than a normal M. Night Shyamalan movie.
Anthony, what are your thoughts on this?
So I haven't seen Unbreakable in a long time.
Yeah.
I still need to see Split, but
it's good.
I've heard really good things about Split, and I don't remember Unbreakable, so my opinion on this is a little skewed because I don't have the full arsenal of movies at hand. But it looks good. I mean, I saw the first trailer for Glass. I thought it looked good. I like the idea of like these three being like the only superheroes and being not being a thing, and all three of them are so different from one another.
Yeah.
So I think it looks good. I think I was actually getting pumped by the end to like see the tease of Mr. Glass and the Beast teaming up, and then Bruce Willis is Unbreakable fighting the Beast.
David Dunn.
People.
So Mr. Glass still has this beef with David Dunn. Unbreakable. I mean, you remember that great scene where, there's a train crash. Everyone dies except for him. I love his costume, which is just like a poncho.
So he's legit, just like immune to everything.
He thinks he can't die and he's super strong. And all of these things are people that think they are these things. And they really go into that in Split, where his identity disorder, it changes his physiology. But I guess it's happening because you see a shot of the Beast running the wall like fucking Spider-Man. I didn't know he could do that. I thought he could just grab shit. And it's this. I love the flashing of the lights and how they're changing his personality to get to the Beast. But this is going to be a return. I saw an interview with M. Night, and basically he said he started out making scary movies, and then when he had kids, he kind of softened because he wanted to make movies his kids could watch, and he made shitty movies. And now he's like, my kids are old enough where I'm enjoying scaring them again, so I'm back to making scary movies, which is great. That's where you need to be, M. Night, because you still have a lot of that great flair.
He got too wrapped up in the whole his his
signature
endings.
twist ending.
Yeah, his twist endings.
Henry
Where his
endings.
movies just started to just suck.
Yeah.
Because the plot is just people waiting
They
around.
were very
for shit.
convoluted, too.
Yeah, just for
And
the
then
twist ending.
Yeah, and then it would get even more convoluted with each ending.
It's a dude with one huge arm for no apparent reason, except the reason that he's been pumping up his arm his whole life is one arm, is so he could do something with that one
It's
arm.
One Punch Man. Is that One Punch Man?
No, that was the lady in the water.
Oh, that's what that movie's about? I never saw that fucking
No,
shit.
there was it's about a mermaid who appears in a pool somewhere, and there's all these weirdos, and all these weirdos are like have to do something to like help the story move along. And there's this one guy who has one big arm and then one regular arm.
Okay.
He just works out with one arm his whole life. And it doesn't make any fucking sense. But,
the last movie he did.
That's how bad M. Night Shyamalan.
Did anybody see the last The Visit, with the scary grandma visit?
No, I did not see.
No,
I wonder if that was any good.
That did okay.
Yeah.
I mean, he really, like The Lady in the Water, The Happening were bad, and then he got into
The Happening. I forgot about that one.
He got into doing The Last Airbender and then After Earth. And both were so bad.
After Earth and The Last Airbender.
He did After Earth too.
Yeah.
That's a horrible movie. But when I watched
that movie was movie was pegged to be like really big because you had Will Smith and Jaden Smith in the same movie.
I think that was a detriment.
Everyone's least favorite Smith was in that movie.
Any Smith spawn is automatically a no for me.
But look, when I watched Split, I was like, oh, this is return to form for M. Night. Like, he is pulling the tension. He's doing the twist and everything, and it's working. It was very good. Highly recommended, especially if you're going to see this. You got to watch both those movies. Did you guys know that these guys have names, not just McAvoy's The Beast? The other two have names, which they were given in these like motion posters they released on Twitter.
Okay, what are they?
Sam Jackson is called the Mastermind.
Right.
And David Dunn is called the Overseer. So you got the Overseer versus the Mastermind and the Beast who fucking eat
good.
you.
But they call him Mr. Glass.
Yeah, but you think they call me Mr. Glass for a reason?
Yeah.
No, I'm excited for that. That's coming out in January.
I gotta say, I read the trailer too.
Oh, you did you?
While you guys were talking.
Okay, well, look. We'll have some MCU news at the end of
I'm
the
not going to
news.
spoil anything.
Okay. But yeah, I'm so torn if I want to read it or not.
No, don't read it.
Okay, I'm not going to read it. Because it could be true. But let's talk about this big news breaking early this week. James Gunn has a new job, people. He is officially confirmed to write and possibly direct the Suicide Squad sequel.
Geek Boner hit.
For Warner Brothers.
He predicted this.
Holy shit, Disney. This is true, Disney.
That's a big fuck up right there.
They have picked up on your fuck up, and I couldn't be happier for the guy. I think this is a great pick because he could do his team of degenerates and actually make them even more degenerate than the Guardians and the shiny Disney version of the MCU. What do you guys think? Is this give you hope for the sequel?
First off, I liked Guardians 1 and 2, so I'm kind of sad to see. Obviously, I've been sad to see him go.
Yes.
But this is basically his big. This is as big a fuck you to Marvel as there can be, or to Disney.
Yep.
I mean, he went to the competitor with the franchise that was basically riffing Guardians of the Galaxy.
They wanted it to be Guardians of the Galaxy, and they get the Guardians of the Galaxy.
They get the Guardians of the Galaxy
and
guy.
It's funny. Like,
it could be. It could be pretty good.
It could be just like Justice League. They're like,
but they got to let him do his thing, though.
They have to. Yeah, don't hack it up. Be hands off. The
only thing is James Gunn has to find like a different carrot for this movie. He can't just copy the Guardians for me, because everyone's gonna be like, that's just Guardians now with different characters.
So my question is, what does he do with the sequel? Do you do a sequel? Do you reboot it? Do you use the same cast? Do you recast it? What would make sense? I mean, you got to have Margot Robbie.
I don't know. I mean, I think Will Smith and Margot Robbie are pretty likely to come back.
Yeah.
But the thing with the Suicide Squad is that's a rotating cast.
Yeah,
too,
so
in the
you
comics.
could change out most of them.
Yeah.
Now, we all know how big a fan Dave Bautista, who plays Drax, is of James Gunn. He's like, where do I sign up? I'm in. Eventually, when they kill him off as Drax, he may make his way over. And who would he play? What if they make him Bane in a version of the Suicide
That's
Squad.
going around the internets a lot.
That'd be
Bane
who else
That
do you
wouldn't
think?
be a bad idea.
Ruggs, who else could be play, or is that the best
Well,
pick?
they already had it. Killer Croc. They already
Yeah,
had that
I could
guy.
see that. Yeah.
Solomon Grundy. I don't know.
Oh, you could do a
I mean,
Grundy.
the version of Bane that Gail Simone wrote for
Secret Six.
Secret Six is
Yeah.
fucking hilarious,
Yeah.
and would be great on
It would work.
in a movie. I mean, he's basically this. He's a big, strong dude, obviously, but he has like this code of honor, and he has this weird
He wants to protect who
obsession
in the,
with Scandal Savage.
So, yeah.
like he treats her like a child,
right,
So he's
like it's
always
his
like
daughter, overprotective.
but he's like you shouldn't eat cereal; it's bad for you.
Yes.
Or like just stupid shit like that.
So imagine he could do that with Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn. How much fun that would be!
Bane they almost played Bane up like Drax, kind of.
Yeah,
Where it's like that literal sense of like doesn't understand the little things.
Yeah.
Takes everything.
Then you wouldn't
too
see
early.
Dave Bautista's face. Does that bother you?
well, who cares?
I
It
need
was
to see his face.
because he's gonna have a thing
They'll
on.
take
his,
it off. Anyone with a fucking mask in comics
They'll
takes that
take
shit
it
off so goddamn quickly.
It's true.
Will Smith wore that Deadshot mask
for like 2 seconds.
2 seconds.
It
yeah.
looked
You're
great.
right.
I wish he wore it more. I saw a quick about Secret Six. I saw an article that CBS is they're going to do a 10-episode Secret Six series, possibly
Really?
with one of the guys
Secret
who
Six was awesome.
Yeah, that wrote Scrubs. So it's going to be like a comedy. But Gail Simone's Secret Six, if you've not read it, definitely picked it up. Anthony turned me on to that. I loved it. It's great with Catman.
I bought it because of Nicola Scott's art.
Oh, yeah. It's a really great book.
She draws great man butt.
Man butt and man boobs. Man,
Yes.
but this could be the beginning of the turning for Warner Brothers. It's funny, they wanted Justice League to be their Avengers. They ended up getting the Avengers guy. Now, same situation with this. Hopefully he can erase that first fucking shitty movie and just to have a lot of
Just
fun
don't
with
do a trash heap in the sky.
Yeah,
and
don't do a CGI.
come up with a
ending.
better bad guy.
He's great. He needs to write, writing wise, he's great at writing team stuff. We've all seen it. Just imagine
Well,
that stuff a little bit darker that we've seen in Guardians of the Galaxy.
I just am worried about humor. Like the humor as Guardians 2, the humor went off the rails a little bit.
Yeah.
and
I see what you're saying.
thought it was weaker because of that. So I'm hoping that he plays it a little bit kind of more conservative. You could still get wacky. I mean, you have Harley Quinn, you can get really wacky with her. Maybe another character you can get pretty wacky with, but if every character is a jokester,
Well, it was relying too much,
nonstop
yes,
jokes.
on the comedy a little bit.
where it's cartoony and people are doing like Looney Tune shit.
But still, seeing Kurt Russell and Chris Pratt play ball like father and son, that's just gets you so nice. You can't.
It was so telegraphed.
Yes, but you just like, I'm tearing. Oh, a boy and his dad. So, interestingly enough, the sequel to Suicide Squad had a director and a writer. Or it was Gavin O'Connor, who's clearly out now because of this. But he was hired to write and direct the film. Apparently, he left because his script for Suicide Squad was almost identical to the script for Birds of Prey, which Warner Brothers decided to fast track ahead of the Suicide Squad sequel. And he's like, all right, then fuck you guys, I'm out. Like, I don't know if they took his script or I don't know what happened.
I think for DC, they saw an opportunity here.
Yes.
They're like,
we don't
this
care.
is a
Get him
no-brainer
out.
for us.
Yes. We don't care why he has to leave. We're going to get James Gunn. And, they clearly don't care about the fucking right-wing Twitter hit job or whatever, the public thinks. Like, I got to give him some credit for having the balls to be like, no.
Yeah, that takes they're they need to make some moves. So.
That's a big move for them.
Look, he still said he still tweeted those things. He still, made some weird ass fucking jokes about pedophilia, but who gives a shit?
That was the James Gunn of the past. He's
thought.
changed. Who gives a shit?
Until he
does it again.
he actually does something.
Yes.
You can't, it's crazy. It's jokes.
It's jokes, people.
Again, not the best taste in terms of jokes, and not the best platform to put it on.
Yeah.
But he's making a fucking movie. Who really cares?
The guy,
Andrew Dice Clay was just in some movie as Lady Gaga's father.
Yeah.
All right. This dude has said such crazy shit in the name of comedy.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
like
why
what are
you
you
love
gonna
him.
fucking not let him act anymore? It's ridiculous.
That's why you love him, but no, good for the James Gunn. Okay, I got a little story from Delhauer that he told me before we recorded the What the Fuck Happened to Catwoman that leads in to our next story.
I had an interesting event this week. I was this close to being an extra in the Joaquin Phoenix Joker movie. They're filming out in Jersey, and they put a whole thing out. So I emailed them, and they got back to me like an hour later, back on Monday, and they were like, "Hey, can you do an overnight shoot in Jersey City on Sunday?" I said, "Yeah, sure, I could totally do that." Like, all right, send us your information with clothing and whatever else. And so I did that, and I hear back from them the next day, and the first thing they say is they're like, "Can you send us pictures of the sides of your head?" And I'm thinking, okay, maybe they can't tell in the first one I sent that I have earrings, so they want to figure that out and be like, oh, you have to take those out or whatever. And so I send them the pictures, and also I'm like, yeah, and I'm also willing to shave if you guys need me to do that. And they come back and they're like, well, because the movie takes place in the early 80s, we feel your hair is too short on the sides. So, thanks, but never mind.
No, but you know what? I think Delhauer, you dodged a bullet, baby. From Variety, extras on the set of the upcoming Joker movie were reportedly locked on subway cars in Brooklyn for more than 3 hours last weekend, forcing some to urinate on the tracks through the small space between cars.
Oh, shit.
Now, I'm sure Delhauer is sad he's not in the movie, but I'm sure he's glad he didn't have to go through this shit. And I've had to pee. I've peed on the tracks in the subway in New York, in Brooklyn, in the past.
I really don't have any sympathy for that, for the actors.
No, why not?
No. Because you know how many jobs that actually you can't pee for like hours at a time?
That's a good point. They got
Give me a fucking break.
They got craft services right out there.
Like they could suck my balls. I'm sorry, but
My balls was hot.
I could name a doctor doing a fucking operation can't pee. I'm sorry.
I had this dude's brain open for 12 hours. I didn't have a chance to pee. What do you want? Okay, there are harder jobs. I understand.
Yeah,
but
come on.
Here's the thing about peeing on the tracks in the subway that you have to be really careful. You got to know which one's the third rail, and you got to not hit it. Or you got to pee in short stream bursts. So,
like, this is the shit that we're dealing with today's people.
Yes.
I can't pee. I mean, if you got to pee, I got to understand. You want to pee, but...
I mean, having to really pee does really hurt. But I don't feel bad. I'm just saying.
It's not like they weren't peeing at all. They were peeing off the side of the thing, which was, I guess they were fine with it.
I have no fucking problem peeing anywhere.
Yeah.
I'll pee. If I got to pee, I'll pee.
I'll pee right there.
It's not that they didn't let them pee. It's that they didn't let them go to the bathroom.
They were denied a break after 2 hours of work. But the other thing is maybe Todd Phillips did this on purpose to use this in the scene and get this crowd. You've seen these videos where they're pouring out with Joaquin Phoenix in Joker makeup, and it looks like Thomas Wayne is running for mayor or some shit.
Right.
But I just thought that was funny after Delhauer said he almost got a role as an extra, which would be great, but not in this movie, maybe. So you dodged a bullet. We also have, you guys see this first look at Ruby Rose as Batwoman on the CW?
I did.
Holy shit, dude. I thought this was like a cover of a comic book or like a promotional. This is actually what she looks like. It looks amazing. I love this.
Good.
I love the suit. I love the red bat on the black. She's got the ears. She's got the red hair. Very fun.
It's very fun. I mean, it's simple, but I mean, it works. It's not.
It's just got a cape.
It's not overly detailed or anything. It looks about right.
I mean, I think for CW, it's like
I really don't have a problem with it. Just that's fine.
I like seeing
it's fine.
I like seeing.
I'm not like wowed by it, but I'm not like it's not overly leathery like CW look usually is.
But I mean, they're going for Gotham and Batman and the ears and everything, so that's exciting. And after all the backlash, they're like, here, look, she looks great, you bastards. All right, let's roll into a couple of bits of MCU news. Hollywood Reporter reporting Scarlett Johansson, she's going to get paid $15 million for a Black Widow movie.
This is so great.
Which is so good for her. The sixth movie she's done at Black Widow. This is on par with what Chris Evans and Chris Hemsworth each got for playing Captain America and Thor in Avengers Infinity War.
That's fucked up because they didn't want to give Scarlett Johansson a movie.
Right, for years.
5 years ago. And now she's getting a $15 million payday because now they have to do this shit because of the success of Wonder Woman and the push for Captain Marvel. And people have been now saying, ScarJo needs a movie. She needs to have the Black Widow movie. So they fucking pushed. She ended up, if she would have done this movie 5 years ago, she wouldn't got jack shit.
Yeah, she wouldn't probably got like a million.
So she actually played the long game.
Yeah, she's winning.
I mean, I think a lot of that was Ike Perlmutter, who just didn't think a female-led movie was going to work and refused to even acknowledge it. And in terms of first outings in a solo movie, Robert Downey Jr. took $500,000 for the first Iron Man, but then he got $50 million for Avengers. And she pulled down like a low 7-figure salary for her debut in Iron Man 2. But this is great progress. This is great movement. And dude, they can afford this. Like, that's nothing for them. They're making fucking billions of dollars off this shit.
Do you think, now, this is a different question.
Yeah.
Do you think anybody's going to watch this movie?
Yeah,
I have no interest in a Black Widow movie.
I don't personally have a ton of interest in the Black Widow movie either, but I think it'll do really well.
Listen, who thought people will go see an Ant-Man movie?
I think it'll do...
Or Guardians of the Galaxy movie?
It'll do Ant-Man money.
It'll probably do Ant-Man money,
I think it'll do more. I think there is a...
Unless she's like half naked throughout the whole movie. There's no fucking way.
No, I think the
or the villain has to be good. There's got to be a secondary draw.
I don't think I think actually her being covered up will like even help it out even more.
Right.
I think I think the left and the feminists will rally around a movie like this hardcore, just like Wonder Woman.
But they've also shit on her for being a lesbian in another movie, for being like a transgender person in another movie.
This is her redemption. This is her redemption.
They took her down. So they took her down 3 months ago.
Wait, I thought she backed out of. Didn't she back out?
They also took her down because she wasn't Asian.
Yeah, that was also a thing.
Takedowns all the time.
This is redemption.
Yeah, she's like,
the MCU is like, no, they're not Teflon, but they're up there.
Yeah, they're close. I mean, I think you can have.
That's a good point.
You can have her as lead and have a bunch of make her like a mini team behind her, but
it's got to have a good villain.
Yes,
like someone that has some cachet, and then you got to have maybe a guest
cameo.
Guy.
Yeah, you need a
maybe
guest
a Hawkeye
Avenger
or something.
Cameo. Look, she's been in 6 movies. She's a fan favorite. Everybody gets her, knows her character. You wouldn't really even have to set up that much.
She was the best in Winter Soldier. That's what my opinion is.
Yeah,
she was great in Winter Soldier.
Her hair changes every movie.
The Russos. Quick side note: the Russos seem to write every character really well.
They get their characters. The best version of T'Challa.
The best version of T'Challa. I think Spider-Man was much better in the Winter Soldier.
Yes.
In
Civil War.
In Civil War than in his own movie.
They get these characters.
Cap's is best with the Russos.
Speaking of Cap, anybody sad of Chris Evans saying he's officially done playing Captain America? He's wrapped.
It won't last.
No? After 8 years, he said he's done. You think he's going to come back?
He's going to have 3 or 4 years, and then he's not going to do shit, and then he's going to be like, I'm going to be back Captain America again.
But does that mean Cap's a hard kill in Avengers 4?
I think
but it's the Marvel Universe.
Dying.
You can bend space and time.
That's true.
Do whatever.
You can go in the quantum realm.
Come on, runs comics.
Anthony, you're not sad.
You don't give a shit about reality.
Nobody's actually dead. That's
I'll be sad when he dies in the film. I think it's possible he's dead, or it's possible he's done. I'd be sad to see if he was, but like Rugboy said, enough money could bring him back.
I think the grass is greener, right? That's the theory. He thinks it's going to go and he's going to be this great director.
Oh, that's
which he could be.
Yeah.
But the minute that he kind of shits the bed on his movies,
he's
and
like, I want to come back.
Nobody gives a shit about him anymore. He's going to want to be Cap.
Can I play old Cap? But I'm also okay with retiring these OGs and moving on to the next wave of heroes.
Yeah, but he's not even old.
I'm not saying old, but in terms
Downey Jr. is like pushing
Yes.
like late 50s
Yes.
right now.
Yeah.
But he can always just be an AI voice of Tony Stark in any movie after, whatever. It doesn't matter,
Right.
even if he's not in the movie. But I'm looking forward to like the Black Panther, Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, Captain Marvel,
They're already
future.
lining up too, though. Like Bucky or Falcon to take over.
Yep. So they could do that. So but you're right. It's comics. No one's ever really done unless their contract ends and they don't negotiate for a new one.
That's what nerds stand for.
Yes.
No one ever really dies.
No. Oh,
wow.
shit. No one.
Is that real?
No one ever really dies.
Yeah.
That's a great acronym there.
I didn't think of it. It was the name of what's his name's group
Oh, Pharrell?
back in the day.
Pharrell.
Yeah, Pharrell.
Oh, that's
yeah.
what the nerd
NERD.
stood for. NERD. Oh, I didn't know that's what it stood for.
Me neither.
Wow, we learned
Now
something.
you know.
Now you know. You know what else we know? Here's some huge news to wrap up our news segment. Ryan Coogler officially signing on to write and direct the Black Panther sequel.
Oh shit.
Hell yeah.
He is coming back, and after he produces Space Jam with LeBron, and that thing it's a big hit, he will be back to do the second movie.
I will. I'm very intrigued to see where they take it.
Yeah, what can you do?
My only request is he makes T'Challa more of a focus.
A little bit.
I think it should be. This is what I think. I think that it should be kind of an extension of the first movie, where Black Panther and of course Wakanda trying to deal with the problems of Americans.
Yeah.
All right, the American problem. So, kind of that whole thing, because they kind of alluded to it a little bit, where there's kids in the playing basketball and they see the ship and they're like, holy shit, what's that?
Yeah, yeah.
And there's some kind of dynamic going on there. So maybe they might go back to that.
I mean, they could go back. They could do that. And they could, building off that, they could go with the American problem of, okay, now we're open and we're letting in, let's say, refugees, and one bad apple spoils it.
That's
now what
good.
do you do?
That's good. You could also do like the America is like an empire, and they are trying to get their cut and exert control over this new nation, sneakily, and he's got a...
Well, now they got people...
He's out. They're all out. Wakanda's out.
Lining up to get that vibranium.
Yes, the vibranium
I'm
could
intrigued.
be an important thing.
I'm excited.
There's a lot of places they could go with it, and that's the success of that first movie, because it leaves a lot of different directions you can go in, which is good.
I mean, I don't know what other villain you choose. Maybe you pull someone from somebody else's characters. I don't know. Black Panthers.
Yeah, I mean, you could
Villains.
you could pretty much do anything.
Yeah, you can put anybody in there.
What if... No.
The important thing is that
I was about
Coogler
to say something ridiculous.
is back. Say it, Ruggs. Say it.
No, I'm done.
I
Fine.
mean, M'Baku is a villain in the comics.
Oh, he could turn.
I was going to say Kanye's the villain.
Oh, there you go. Wow, he feels like he's a superhero when he puts the hat on.
Yeah, he's Mega Man.
He's Mega Man. Two insane people. There's photos of two insane people meeting in a round room. Make of that what you will. And with that, look, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to play some promos, and we will come back with our review of Tom Hardy's Venom right after this.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Hey listener, Dutch here from Voice from the Underground, the podcast. My co-host and I want to invite you to check out our little corner of the podcast verse. At Voice from the Underground, we talk about all the crazy happening around us and try to make a little bit of sense out of the nonsense with little to no results. If the idea of hearing three semi-intelligent, outspoken nerds talk about politics, social issues, current events, sports, movies, pretty much anything that we decide to talk about because, well, it's our show, appeals to you, grab your shovel and come on down to the underground, and then consult a qualified psychotherapist. Find us wherever you get your podcasts, just not where you buy your weed.
Voice from the Underground.
Are you a fan of movies?
Or comics?
Or video games?
Or just anything else nerdy?
Well, you should check out the Zing This podcast. And that's spelled
Z-E-N-G.
This. And you can find us every Monday. And we have nerdy topics from comic book reviews to in-depth analysis of iconic nerdy movies, as well as video game discussions.
Mm-hmm.
Where's some of the best places to find us, Allie?
Well, Podbean, of course.
You can also find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play.
Anywhere else you listen to your podcast.
Yeah. So check us out. Once again, that is
Zing this.
And
Listener, join our awesome fan club. We got a great fan club. Just visit jockandnerd.com/Patreon. And when you sign up for as low as $1 a month, you will get bonus content and a bunch of other swag. I got to say, shout outs and thank you. We got a new patron this week. Jock and Nerd.
Yeah.
Thank you to new patron Tom Walters, who signed up for the I'm Pumped tier.
I'm pumped.
Yeah, me too.
What tier is
That's the lowest tier.
that? Okay, cool.
That's it. Okay.
Hey, your dollar is just as good.
Hey, and also thanks to our buddy Clay Groves of the Fish Nerd Nation podcast. He runs the Fish Nerd podcast. He's a nerd. He increased his pledge. He was at the I'm Pumped tier, and he went up to the Somebody Touching My Spaghetti.
Somebody touch my spaghetti!
Which is the next tier. So thank you. We appreciate it. And those people on Patreon this week, listener, if you have not checked it out, here's what they enjoyed between shows. Lots of content, all instant reactions from the three of us for Venom. So you got to hear, literally, I was still in the parking lot and I told you what I thought of the movie without even giving myself a chance to process, which is how you do things these days. Don't think about it. Just fucking
Don't think about it. Just react and yell.
Just talk.
Scream.
So, and then you also have, I got another weekly nerd review of stuff I watched, some movies, some TV shows. You got The Walking Dead came back and The Flash. So you got my thoughts on that. And a new episode of Jock Talk with this guy who's now a daddy.
Hey, shut the fuck up. I'm doing something.
Chaz, don't talk to your baby like that. What are you doing?
Oh, my God.
Whoa.
Chaz had a baby, Ruggs. Did you hear?
I did.
Oh.
You should.
He had a
You,
Like
baby.
he pushed it out of his dick?
yeah, he had a dick baby. No, I don't think
Dick hole-
that's how
yeah,
it works.
dick hole baby?
baby? I don't know if that's how that works. Can they
The
do that now?
old dick hole baby.
The old dick hole baby. You know, science these days, it's going to happen one of these days. Men, you better get circumcised.
I don't want
know.
that to happen, but sure.
Little tiny dick hole baby. Anyways, sign up for the fan club.
I mean, sperm is a dick hole, baby.
That is. They're all dick. They're my guys. Go make some
I
people.
mean,
Billions of-
bukkake is technically a baby shower.
That is a baby party with less. It's a baby shower with not enough gifts.
You need a bukkake reference.
Yes.
There should be a sound effect.
Yes. There you go.
There you go.
There you go. Great. Oh, I'll give you this. All right. Let's get to.
Don't joke about these things.
No,
Someone will
don't.
scream.
These are. No. It's very serious,
No,
people.
This is all serious.
It's all serious. Like our next thing, which we will be reviewing Venom. Here's your spoiler alert.
Strap yourselves in, you fucks. Spoiler time.
Got that out of the way. Okay, gang, here we are. We're talking about a movie that none of us first believed was going to get made
Yep.
when it was announced. You're like, you're going to make a Venom movie without Spider-Man? How the
Yeah,
fuck,
shut the fuck
how the
up.
fuck are you going to do this? This is not a good idea. Then the trailers came out, and all of us, I was like, this does not look good.
Right.
And then the movie came out, and you know what? I'm going to eat my words a little bit when we get to our thoughts, but let's just discuss the numbers right now. Rotten Tomatoes, we said last week what it was. Let's see, it's at 30%. It went up a little bit. It went up by 4.5 out of 10 average rating. Audience score, 89%. This is the movie directed by Ruben Fleischer, who did Zombieland, starring Tom Hardy, Michelle Williams, Riz Ahmed, Jenny Slate, a little Woody Harrelson, just a little bit of Woody Harrelson for flavor in the movie. Box office wise, here's why I'm going to say I was wrong and eat my words, because holy shit, this thing broke all the October records. It exceeded expectations. Opening weekend pulls in $80 million domestically, $205 million global.
Oh, shit.
On a $100 million budget. So opening weekend, they had already kind of made their money back. Right now, it is sitting at $102 million domestic. It crossed $100 million. Worldwide, 229. This is the biggest October biggest October opening weekend ever. It almost doubled what Gravity made in 2013.
There's a lot of 90s people that.
There's a lot of people that was dying. But in comparison, for perspective, Thor opening weekend, $65 million. Captain America, the First Avenger, $65 million. And just recently, Ant-Man and the Wasp, $75 million. It beat the opening weekend for all those movies. Do those numbers mean that Sony was right in making a PG-13 Venom movie? Maybe. They also prove that there's no such thing as superhero fatigue? Maybe. This is very weird and confusing. Let's start with opening thoughts. Who saw this movie most recently?
I saw it recently.
When did you see it? Today's Thursday, the
Sunday,
11th.
I think.
So I saw it on the 9th, Tuesday.
I saw it on the Sunday. Anthony, why don't you start?
Well, I'm gonna shit on this.
Okay.
Now.
Okay.
I mean, this is now 3 movies in a row that I've had to see that are just bad.
Yeah.
The Predator.
Yeah.
Catwoman.
Yep.
And now Venom.
Yes.
Venom was a doomed idea from the start, in my opinion. All the things that are interesting about that character are related to Spider-Man. Spider-Man is not in this film.
Nope.
So for me, the film is, and I was calling it, a throwback to like the early 2000s, where it's comic book character or comic book film in name only. It's really not at all. It doesn't have much to do with what the character was like on the printed page in terms of origin or anything. It's a bad CGI film. The story is, I read a review somewhere. It's like a gay love story between Venom and Tom Hardy's Eddie Brock.
The Brokeback Mountain of superhero movies? Is that what you're telling me?
It's kind of. I mean, other than Tom Hardy, can you name another actor that did anything in this film or actress?
Michelle Williams was in it.
She was in it. I don't know what.
Riz Ahmed was in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's. You've got Tom Hardy basically knowing that he's in a shitty film and just hamming it up. The action's not great. The only good stuff for me is the interactions between Tom Hardy and the Venom voice. So overall, it's about what I expected. I'm not even going to say it's okay. It's a shitty movie. It's bad.
All right. Fair enough. Ruggs.
Well, I agree with Anthony. But I also think there's certain things that you can't fix about this movie because they're just terrible.
Yeah.
There was 2 opportunities where they could have made it interesting and left the back door open for Spider-Man to come in. Now, if you listen to my review on the Patreon, you already know what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
But basically what happens in this movie is that they have the symbiotes are on a ship that crashes, and they go and retrieve the symbiotes, but one gets away. That should have been Venom.
Yeah.
Because they cut to 6 months later before Tom Hardy gets infected by Venom.
That's a good point.
And in that 6 months, that the whole Spider-Man thing could have happened.
So instead of that being Riot, that should have been the Venom symbiote.
Yes, and then, the fact, I don't understand why you had to bring Riot about by having a girl walk in and into the fucking maximum security laboratory that was so hard to get into.
It's called reshoots, people.
Yeah.
Because clearly all that whole thing was put in reshoots.
Yeah, so, that one guy, they could have left the door open for Spider-Man to be involved if they could, and they could flash back to that later in another movie, maybe, if they decide to use Spider-Man and bridge the gap. So that was a huge fail. The second fail was the fact that they had all of these other Venoms and none of them ever showed up.
Yeah.
Right?
I thought there was going to be more fucking fleshed out symbiotes.
Yes, there was going to be more symbiotes because why they've been using them and all that stuff.
In fact, where is the fucking yellow one? I
died.
Did it die? Where's the other one? The other two
They
died?
both died, yeah.
Did they though? We didn't really see it.
They were saying that if it doesn't have a human host for a certain amount of time, they die.
Okay, but that whole idea is completely like they don't even follow their own rules in this movie.
The yellow one could have been Scream.
Which one went into the rabbit? It's not still in the fucking rabbit?
No, it went in the black guy.
Where did the yellow one go?
The girl.
Which girl?
The doctor.
Oh, and then it died. Yeah, so they died. Yeah, that was wasted.
They wasted that too.
They wasted a lot of things.
So they wasted those things.
They wasted so many things.
And the thing that sucks the most is that the Riot that they end up having, he looks so much like Venom.
Yeah.
Besides having knives.
Yeah.
It doesn't really give you anything new.
No.
So you have like this like trope that's been done a million times where the bad guy is the mirror reflection of the good guy and does exactly the same thing, and that kills the excitement to the movie. So that and the fact that they spent way too much time on that fucking motorcycle thing.
Yep.
That was way too long and way too boring.
The whole chase scene?
Yeah, like nothing in the movie was like interesting. Like even the action scenes were like
they're not great.
We're like they were like on a scale of 1 to 10, they are probably like a 5. They're just average.
Average, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like there's nothing redeeming about this movie except for that Tom Hardy performance, and that's it.
Yeah.
Can I make one comment before you jump in, Imran?
Yeah.
2 good points there. One, the body snatchers, like Venom symbiote thing. I didn't even think that should have been Venom. That should have been fucking Venom. That would have been way more interesting.
Yeah.
So that you can tell is just ham-fisted in there. And the point about was Riot. I thought it was Toxin. I'm sorry, it was Riot.
Yeah.
I don't know the fucking names of these things. The fact that you make that thing like a metallic gray.
Yeah.
Like, how stupid are you? Like, what? You already have bad CGI. Why are we seeing a CGI fight at the end?
Black symbiote
versus
on
dark
a black
gray.
sky. On a black sky.
In the dark.
In the dark, of course. Yes.
No. All right, Rugway. Not Rugway, Imran. Go
so, look, you guys know
You liked it.
I'll cut right to the bit is I didn't think it was as bad as I thought it was going to be. I actually, look, the story makes no sense. The dialogue is horrible. The CGI is whatever. But I had fun. I was primed by watching The Predator and Catwoman, 2 really bad movies. After that, I was ready to enjoy something. And I think the critics were harsh. This is, Rugg said it, the whole thing. This is just an average movie. I think we've forgotten what just an average movie is. It's not bad. It's not good. It just is right in the middle. Now, my big concern, like you said, Anthony, I kind of disagree. After watching this movie, I also thought, how could you do a Spider-Man movie without Spider-Man when Venom's initial motivation was, I hate Spider-Man and Peter Parker. The origin doesn't get any more connected, but all they did was jump ahead to when Venom moves to San Francisco as the lethal protector and becomes an anti-hero. And I thought it kind of worked. And honestly, I don't even think I want to see Spider-Man in this Venom universe. I don't think it's necessary. And I can't believe I'm saying that because I thought you couldn't do this. But where they ended up, they've established a super fun Venom. Like Tom Hardy, like you guys said, he saved this whole movie.
Yeah, but he doesn't do anything really interesting.
It doesn't matter because in the sequel, he can hit the ground running.
But what about Venom is visually interesting? Like, what does he do that's so great, that's like inspiring as a hero?
No, he's not. He's not a hero.
Saying, he's supposed to be a hero, right?
Yeah.
So Superman flies.
Yeah.
Spider-Man spins his web and crawls on walls and does all that stuff. There's nothing that's like
he doesn't have a thing.
What does Venom do?
Yeah.
They weren't even creative with Venom. Like Venom should be able to shapeshift and become anything he wants. Venom should be able to create clothing, and all that stuff.
Yep.
Venom should be able to, but they didn't even go anywhere near that shit. He just had blobs, big black blobs.
His only thing that he did was he eats your head.
He eats lungs and brains and bites your head off. Yeah. And even that, like, I couldn't tell he was doing that because of the fucking
like
PG-13.
Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, which that could be fun if you do it right. And they did it, but they didn't do it enough. They gave you a taste of it.
I could watch a whole movie of Eddie Brock and Venom just grocery shopping and just him explaining things and them fucking around. Like that buddy, what the marketing sold it as like a horror movie, but it's really like a buddy cop body horror sci-fi comedy. It's a weird fucking tone. The tone is all over the place.
The 2 things I thought of when I watched this film was this shit is weird and wacky.
Yeah.
I got to disagree, though, Imran. I don't think this is an okay movie.
I think it's average.
I think this is actually pretty bad. I think this is going to be on the low totem pole of superhero films. I mean, all that you got is Tom Hardy acting like a fool, talking to himself.
I don't think it's as bad as like Green Lantern.
It's not as bad as Catwoman. No fucking way.
I don't think it's as bad as Catwoman.
It's not as bad as Catwoman.
So that's what I'm saying. It's the thing is, like, people.
But what is the?
People are gonna love or hate this. That's there's no in between. You either love or hate Hardy's interpretation. And I thought I was gonna hate Hardy's delivery. He sounds weird. He sounds like a drunk fucking Rocky Balboa. But it grew on me. And I really like just the goofy scenes in the restaurant of him jumping. He improv'd all this shit.
That is goofy as fuck. I'll say that I was laughing in the theater, not hard. I was just kind of chuckling.
Yeah.
My theater was silent. During some of that shit. Yeah, they weren't really laughing.
I laughed a lot a couple times.
Yeah, but people clapped at the end.
Yeah,
of this
I heard
movie.
about that too. I heard a lot of that.
Mine was like everyone just walked out. It was done.
I just think it fits the Venom of the early 90s, 93, 94, Lethal Protector, Venom
Lethal
comics.
Protector, yeah.
This is the tone. Like, this is how thin shit was. So, like, I think it's a good Venom movie, and it's a great start. Like, I want to see more of, I wish there was more of Tom Hardy.
Jesus Christ.
Playing
Great start.
Venom.
Imran just loves everything.
The thing is, look, they made so much money this weekend. They're going to make more money this second weekend because there's nothing out there.
They're definitely going to make another one, but I mean,
but they blew it at the same time. Like, they made a movie that people wanted to see because of the marquee value of Venom and got them into the theater. Because, look, I'll give it this. They gave you a Venom that looks like the comic book Venom.
Yeah.
All right. He's big. Yeah. He's scary. He's hulking, and he's he's devious.
His size is great. I love his size.
So they did deliver on that note.
Yeah.
All right. Was it the best CG ever? No, it was a little bit, touch and go here and there. But they did deliver on, and that gets you pretty far for a lot of people. Like, if you can get that image of that comic book character on screen, even though it's not 100% there, like he doesn't have the spider on his chest,
Right.
he doesn't
have
have
any Spider-Man powers. Like, he's not climbing walls,
have the Spider-Man powers,
webs.
but just the visual alone, people and the attitude and the personality. They kind of captured that, so I think a lot of people were happy to see their character on screen. The fact that they made so many compromises and they could have been smart about it and kind of left things open for and used the symbiotes better in a more exciting way, because like they could have gotten rid of that motorcycle scene that probably cost a shitload of money and done something else instead. That would have been more fun to look at, more fun to watch.
They were pretty committed. I mean, there's so many things in this movie that don't make sense. Look,
well, I mean, look,
yeah,
the part of the movie where it like solidified for me that even the writers don't actually give a fuck about this or like actually care to make this anything other than complete.
How many writers were on this?
Zaniness.
I think there was like 5 writers on this.
Is the reveal when the fucking symbiotes are like, the Venom's like, on my planet, Eddie, I'm actually kind of a loser.
I love that line. Eddie, I'm a loser like you. That's why I like you. But I kind of love that. It was hilarious.
That's weird.
That's a strange thing. Like, unless this is like, you're going full Deadpool, like, they didn't go full Deadpool either. Like, so it's just like,
look, this is a sassy Venom. Like, look, of course, it makes no sense that these symbiotes come from another planet with this personality already, and they could speak English and they have names.
No, I think
already. The fuck?
No, they didn't say. They could have explained that better.
Yeah,
I think
they
once
could explain everything
to the host,
better.
it knows everything the host knows, down to the language.
But except at the same time, he didn't know who Anne was. When, wouldn't he have seen it in fucking Eddie's head that this is the girl he's been with?
I don't think he sees his memories, but I think that they have a telepathic bond, and then that telepathic bond leads to him knowing how to speak.
At that point where he does that thing about, I like you, I want to stay. Like, Riot's story didn't make any sense the whole time. Like, the symbiotes were kidnapped from an asteroid and brought here. When did this plan to go and start an invasion happen? And why does he even need Venom to do it?
I mean, the movie's like 30 minutes too short, too. Like, they go right into the third act.
Yeah, it's the third act is rushed, totally rushed.
There should have been
I don't
a little
know about
more
30 minutes, but at least maybe 10 to 15 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, they jump into when Riz Ahmed, I don't even know what's fucking Carlton Drake. Get the symbiote. First off, this is how you can tell this movie's bad.
Yeah.
You see the scene where the symbiote jumps in into Carlton Drake, right?
Yeah.
Then they go to the boardroom.
Yeah.
And Carlton Drake's like, release the rocket or whatever.
Yeah.
And it seems like that scene is supposed to be the reveal that, holy shit, he has the symbiote in him.
But we already
you just saw 5 minutes ago that he got the symbiote in him, so you're just like, what? Wait, like why is this like you're playing this up like it's a big reveal?
That whole riot getting to that reeks of reshoots. Like they were rewriting
it reeks
things
of reshoots and bad.
And they didn't know what
that's
to
why
do
I
with
disagree with you when I say that when this is an okay movie. This is poorly edited with poor CGI, a poor story.
Yeah, but
like, without the main character that makes this character even exist.
Yeah, but Tom Hardy's commitment to having fun with this character, that was enough for me.
Every actor gets 1 or 2 movies where they can ham it up. This is Tom Hardy's movie.
This is a movie
he gives no fuck.
Yes, this is a movie that you could throw on in the background. This is a movie that's going to be a cult classic that gets better when you drink. It's going to be one of those bad movies.
I could never watch this again.
I think
unless it's on TV and I have nothing else.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You could throw. I think the first exposition, the first half of the movie, it took so long for them to set everything up. Clearly, nobody gives a fuck about the Life Foundation. What is Michelle Williams even doing in this movie? They give her nothing. Riz Ahmed and Michelle Williams are doing the best they can with this shitty dialogue, even to where Michelle Williams says with a straight face, "I'm sorry about Venom, Eddie." You're like, okay, she just said, "I'm sorry about Venom." It seems ridiculous.
But cult classic. I'm with Rugs, man. This is already for me like Predator. And if I can't watch this again, I couldn't watch this again.
Look, whereas
it doesn't make me mad. I'm just like, this is stupid.
It doesn't make me mad. It's just average. But whereas Catwoman, you were laughing at Halle Berry trying to be a cat, and this one you're laughing with Tom Hardy because he knows what the fuck this movie is. He knows that. I love that they didn't take it seriously. Here's what I think they did right.
Why did they? Yeah. I mean, why is Tom Hardy even a reporter?
I know this fucking the Eddie
looks
Brock
like
show.
scum.
Yes, he's got a New York accent in San Francisco. I don't buy that Eddie Brock show for 1 minute. Why would Michelle Williams, who's a lawyer, be in a relationship with this fucking loser dirtbag? And every decision he made was wrong. Like the guy's just a big fuck up. Everything was his fault. He doesn't really learn anything, and now he's got to go around and bite heads.
I think this is fucking closer to Catwoman.
I don't think it is. They made a self-contained standalone story around Tom Hardy's awesome performance. Now you have a fun character, and it's PG-13, so it's going to make a lot of money. They did everything right except make a good movie. That's the only thing they got wrong, is they could have just made it a good movie.
I think a Venom movie without Spider-Man was always going to be doomed.
I just think when you do something that's so stupid, and you do it like 5 different ways, in the same movie,
yeah.
You gotta point it out. You can't just gloss over.
No. There's huge plot holes.
There's too much stupidity, though.
But I still enjoyed watching the Venom
you can
parts.
enjoy it. I'm just telling you, it's dumb in I mentioned more than ways than one.
Like your favorite.
Oh, it's dumb.
Look, it's like you could take the Godzilla movies for example, or something like that. I'm going off on a tangent here, but
I'm following.
Godzilla is a bad movie because it's so fucking boring and drawn out, but it gives you 15 minutes of Godzilla at the end, or 10 minutes of Godzilla at the end. So you'd watch that because that's done so beautifully and so perfectly. All right. Now, if you apply it to this movie, it gives you Venom the way you've always wanted him in a certain way, but not completely. I think that there's such a huge part missing with Spider-Man. You can't really have Venom without Spider-Man. You have to at least acknowledge it, or leave room for it somewhere in the story.
There's a couple of Easter eggs where they could tie it in.
Jameson being the astronaut.
Jameson was the astronaut.
Peter. They mentioned Peter.
They didn't mention Peter
in the beginning. He's like, "Why did you leave the Daily
Globe?" Which he did work for the Daily Globe in the comics
because of Peter.
No, he said because of some incident. But that's the incident.
Peter.
Yeah,
no, he talks about Peter. They say Peter. Yeah.
So that's the incident in the comics that gets him to move to San Francisco.
But I agree with you, Imran, in that I don't want Peter Parker in this because how do you introduce Spider-Man? That doesn't make any goddamn sense now.
But they could still have the Venom meet Peter, and then the symbiote joins him, bonds on him, and then Peter rejects it and goes back to Eddie. They could still pull that off somehow.
The The whole reason why Venom looks the way he does is because of Peter.
I know. How do you explain the fucking eyes and shit? And we've had decades of this story. Like Secret Wars came out in the 80s, the very first time he got the symbiote. And then for a long time, it was just the symbiote costume that was alive and it was fighting with Peter. It was never Venom. So there's like 30 years of storyline. They just skipped all that and went right to like the 90s stuff, but it holds true to the tone of those 90s things. And then the Stan Lee cameo was kind of funny too. But there's
those 90s things are awful.
There's so many things. Like why?
See, part of the reason why I think Venom works in the comics is because Peter was a perfect match for him.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I mean, Eddie Brock's even more of a perfect match, but I think that the reason why Venom is able to not kill is because of Peter.
Yeah.
And he's got a little bit of Peter in him.
Now it's because of Eddie Brock going, we only kill. How about they show in the fucking last shot in the trailer too? I hate when they do that. Let's pick this apart a little bit because this is fun. Because how the fuck did that old lady have the symbiote in her for 6 months when it was killing everybody else when they had it for a little while? I didn't understand that. What else? There were so many things in this movie.
I mean, the body snatcher thing builds up to really nothing.
No.
There's no reason for it.
No. It's not at all.
I think that's why that should have been Venom. They do that.
I agree.
At least that improves the movie, like I think a little bit.
Now that the more I think about it, that way he would have learned something and he was looking for, and it's just like, what a coincidence that Eddie just stumbles onto a perfect match.
Well, I mean, here's the thing, so the whole point of a lot of superhero films is the character evolves from one thing to the end. By the end, he's a completely different character. I guess Tom Hardy is, selfish in the beginning.
Yeah.
And through the Venom symbiote, he learns that he wants to be a hero, I guess.
Yeah.
The symbiote learns that he doesn't want to take over the planet. He wants to be inside of Eddie because on Earth, he's basically stronger than everyone else.
Plus, he's a loser like Eddie.
Plus, because he's not a loser anymore. He's like, so basically what the whole storyline is really, because at the end of the day, the Venom is the main character, even more so than Eddie Brock. The whole storyline really is about a kid that was probably picked on in high school and went to a new high school and has now suddenly become the cool kid because he went to a new place.
Yep, pretty much. And he's like, I can rule here. I mean,
that's actually the gist of the story.
There is no hero redemption for Brock. There's no redemption for all the stupid shit Brock does in this movie.
There's kind of a redemption,
but he gets the girl back and his job back, but he shouldn't. He should be in prison. Everybody knows he's Venom.
Does he get the girl back?
Yeah, well, sort of. They're talking, but he gets his job back. The thing is, everybody's seen him bite heads off and kill people. The man should be in prison. How is he out and about and nobody's being like, oh, that's the guy who's got the alien goo that likes to bite heads off people?
It really is an unintentionally gay love story, which is fine.
It reminded me of so many movies. It reminded me of The Predator in the sense that it starts just like that movie. Plane fucking spaceship crash. It reminded me of Catwoman with the loud next door neighbor scenes. It reminded me,
snatchers.
Yeah, the body snatchers. It reminded me of The Predator in that it's the same silly plot where the guy's trying to stop an invasion.
The Hands for Knives or Terminator 2.
It reminded me of that. And then Ruggs Upgrade. I saw Upgrade. If you want to see an R-rated Venom, go watch Upgrade. It's
when they're fixing the legs.
It's the same fucking movie.
It's much better.
And it's a better, if they put the storytelling of Upgrade into the Venom, it would be way better. But even
that's the same.
The scene where the guys come to his apartment to get the thing is the same fucking scene as an Upgrade. It's the same movie. And in fact, Logan Marshall Green is doing like a weird Tom Hardy. He's wearing a hoodie. He looks like him. It's the weirdest thing. It's the same fucking movie.
I gotta admit, I almost like fucking dry heaved when he goes into his garbage and starts eating the half-eaten chicken.
Yes, I love that commitment from Hardy, man. Like, he'll just go for it. Like, he bit into that live lobster for real. I'm pretty sure. Like, he just bit into, and they didn't plan that, and he got in trouble because he just improv that. He's like, fuck it, I'm going in the tank. I'm gonna eat that lobster.
I mean, I don't hate on you for enjoying it. I just disagree. I just think it's a bad movie.
This is a bad movie that I enjoyed, that I thought was entertaining. I mean, the pussy line was great. Yeah, it's dated. It's like a 15-year-old fucking gross out humor, but it was funny. What do we think of this Easter egg? The mid-credit scene, which I thought could have been pushed farther, and I was disappointed that they didn't do more. But you see Woody Harrelson in a really stupid Ronald McDonald wig. Like, what the fuck is he doing wearing? He looks like he had clown makeup on. He just wiped it off.
Yeah, that one was weird too, man.
And then you're like, what is
that's not even all that
Cletus?
subtle.
Yeah, Cletus. And he's like, let me tell you
I like a good Cletus.
I mean,
when I get out, there's going to be carnage.
Oh my God. But then you're like, what the fuck is Woody Harrelson doing in this movie? What the fuck is Michelle Williams doing in this movie?
It's honestly, man, it's made like a bad Marvel movie, like a bad MCU film.
Yeah, but I think
they took all the cues from the MCU, literally.
Yeah.
Everything in terms of like structure and in terms of post-credit scene, and but they didn't have the skill to pull it off. and they took the CGI guys that were working in 2004 and put them in this.
I mean, I think it's about as average as like a little bit less. Look at Ant-Man and the Wasp. That movie did well. It's a fun movie, but it's a little formulaic. It's a little staid. It's a little straightforward. That's about an average movie. We all thought that was an average movie.
Ant-Man had more wow moments than Venom did.
That's true. It did. It had.
That's the thing too. Is there's nothing like.
I'm trying to think of like
what moment in the film are you like amazed by what you're seeing on screen?
It really isn't
where
one.
you're like actually captured by like, oh wow, I'm in the comic now.
It's not much. It's just the way how weird Tom Hardy is. I can't stop watching him. You just can't, because it's just like you don't know what he's gonna do. But there isn't a wow moment. Yeah,
like if you like really think about it. First off, the symbiotes want to take over the Earth, a place where fire and loud sounds will destroy them. Like what?
Yes. And sometimes the fire doesn't do anything. Also, Michelle Williams was a lawyer. How the fuck did she hack an MRI machine and a fucking thing at the launch pad to produce this 600 megahertz frequency? All she did was turn knobs at the right time, just like that little kid in fucking Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom.
I couldn't tell you what Michelle Williams, like anything.
I love the She-Venom. I love that they made out. How come it didn't kill her, though? Shouldn't she be dying now, too? Because it ate her fucking thing.
That crossed my mind. Like, wait, so she's a perfect host, too?
Apparently, everyone's a fucking perfect host except for Carlson Drake. He was a perfect host.
He was a perfect
And then, like, it appears like that Eddie dies and the Venom dies at the end, but it's still with him. Like, how the fuck did that happen? Who cares? Here's the thing. I went in, I was like, I'm going to forget about everything I know about Venom. Show me your Venom. And I knew. I was like, I don't give a fuck. I just want to see something fun. And it entertained me more than The Predator did and more than Catwoman did.
You're saying if you drop all the baggage of what you expect and just watch the movie, that it's good.
It's okay. It's not good. It's average.
I would go.
Okay.
I went with a guest that does not know about all the baggage, and she was like, "What the fuck was that?" Like she was like, "That was weird."
It was weird. That's why.
But like you could be like, there's like the first Guardians, it's somewhat weird, but like there's like a story underneath that you could like if you peel the layers. There's like, oh wow, there's like family issues. There's a lot of like stuff James Gunn had to say. I'm not peeling back anything. If I peel back the first layer on this movie, that's all I got.
There's no layers.
There's no layer to this at all.
They could have done
other than the gay storyline of Venom and Eddie Brock falling in love.
It's the movie about a boy and his symbiote. That's all. A boy. They could have done a whole thing about like homeless people being tested on by corporations, or there was lots, but they didn't give a shit about that.
I actually
That's not what it was about.
I don't think there was much you could do with the story at all. Without Spider-Man, I really think it's a doomed movie. Any way you cut it.
Yeah. However they're gonna get there, but they got there.
I'm of the opinion that everything about Venom is interesting because of Spider-Man.
Was it as bad as you thought it was going to be when you went?
I didn't think it was.
Or were you like surprised to a little degree?
I walked in hopeful because I just seen Catwoman and the Predator, and I walked out like that was about as bad as I had expected before. I had to subject myself to 2 shitty movies prior.
I came out saying this was better. I thought it was going to be a lot worse.
I thought it was going to be terrible.
Yeah.
And it was just like a movie.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not good.
It's a movie.
It's not bad. It's just a movie. It's just there.
That's what it was. What was it? It was a fucking movie. It had a movie. There was characters. Yeah. They did things. And then
stuff happened. Stuff blowed up. It's forgettable. It's very forgettable.
It's a fucking movie.
But
let me say something nice.
Yeah. Okay. Try to say something.
This isn't like Batman v Superman where it makes me mad.
Right.
At all. That's not the case.
All right.
The one thing I did like was Eddie Brock interacting with the Venom, and it like especially in the beginning when it's talking to him and he like reacts by like jumping.
Yes.
Like, what the fuck?
That's great.
Like that all, and then when him being sick in the restaurant, like all of that stuff.
Eddie.
I was somewhat entertained by it.
It's campy, silly, goofy fun.
The Venom, whoever's doing the Venom voice was it.
Tom Hardy did the voice.
Tom Hardy.
Oh, it's Tom Hardy. Well, I enjoyed the Venom.
Dude, Tom
character.
Hardy did a buddy cop movie with himself. Tom Hardy I wanted to see more of that. That's why I'm kind of excited for a sequel. Not that they've established this. Just show me him hanging out, going to movies.
If this is what we can expect from the Sony universe,
yeah,
I'm sure they might make some money.
You know they're going to get Carnage.
God damn, we are in for some shit.
I mean, I think it was also smart of them to save Carnage for the next movie because otherwise they got nothing. What are they going to do?
We already know a Morbius film is in the works.
Morbius is in production.
We already know that probably they're going to get a sequel for this. We're probably going to get greenlit. I think they've already got a writer for Kraven. They're going to make a fucking Sony universe, and God damn, it's going to be bad.
So here's the thing. Avi Arad and Matt Tolbach, they've been trying to make this fucking Venom movie for so long. Just huge hard-on for this movie. I know a lot of us wanted it to fail so that this wouldn't happen.
They don't want it to fail.
Well, they don't want it to fail, but to put a kibosh on it, these guys are just vindicated. You know he's walking around proud, chest out, puff chest. Like, this is straight vindication for trying to launch this Spider-Man universe without Spider-Man. And yeah, we're going to get a lot more of these.
Well, there's a story, I mean, it came out on when they leaked the Sony stuff.
Yeah.
Before they decided to give in and give Spider-Man, they wanted to make, Spider-Man, Spider-Man 2, Sinister Six.
Yep.
Then have a Venom spinoff.
Yep.
Morbius, all that shit. And they were going to I forgot what storyline it is in the comics, but where all the villains team up against all the Spider-Man heroes.
Yeah.
So I forgot what storyline that is. I really got to look it up, but
I don't know. Secret.
But that's what they
Sinister
wanted to
Six.
build.
Yeah.
And this might be the catalyst for them to try and start doing that again.
I saw another
That's it without Spider-Man.
So another article. So now here's interesting. Another article from Screen Rant says Sony may adapt Kraven's Last Hunt and include Spider-Man. Now that, holy shit, if they pull this off with Tom Hardy.
Tom Holland Spider-Man?
Yeah, Tom Holland.
No.
I just don't see it happening, man.
He's got to be a man when this happens.
So they would have
Be a
to.
child.
Yes, I still think they should recast their own adult Spider-Man for this Marvel characters universe, whatever they got, Sony's universe
I
of Marvel.
think Spider-Man is going to be off limits for
Here's
a while.
another thing that they fucked up really
Yeah.
bad. So at the end of this movie, there is a Into the Spider-Verse.
I didn't even stay for that.
Oh, yeah, what the fuck was
promo.
that?
Okay. Now, if they were fucking smart, this movie, Into the Spider-Verse, introduces the Spider-Man multiverse. And they could say that this is just one of possibilities. And they could riff off Spider-Man that are not the Marvel Spider-Man.
They did that, Ruggs. The clip started with "Meanwhile in another universe,"
Yeah, they did
acknowledging that this is a multi-universe thing. So it's very possible that they could play with that Spider-Verse and bring all these different characters. Maybe even another adult Spider-Man jumps into the next Venom movie. I didn't stay because I don't need to be sold on that movie. I'm going to see it anyways. I was like, plus the credits are like 18 minutes long. I was like, go fuck yourself. I'm not staying for this. But the main thing was, meanwhile, in another universe. So they are kind of tying it together. So there's potential there for some fun stuff, I guess. But I don't know. It was like, I think it was intentionally a throwback, and some audiences found it refreshing that it wasn't all this great world building, setting up other movies, and it was just a fucking
completely
silly,
thrown off by watching
goofy,
that.
campy movie. Yes.
I mean, it didn't look bad, but I was and it was so long. I was like, what in the fuck?
It's only like an hour and a half long.
No, I'm saying the end post credits.
Yeah, that's why I didn't sit through the fucking credits. I'm like, I'm not sitting through 50 minutes of credits, you bastards.
Well, and I'm just saying that even that clip.
Oh, that was long too. It was a couple
like
minutes.
2 minutes.
Yeah,
two,
it's like
3
where
minutes.
Miles and Peter meet, I guess.
Yeah, it was a little. I was like thrown off. Everything about this fucking movie threw me off.
It's a weird movie.
The storyline I'm looking up that they were building towards, and they might be jump starting and building towards again, is Ultimate Carnage.
Oh, okay.
Which is when Carnage rallies all the villains, and then Spider-Man has to rally all the spider heroes, and they fight each other.
I don't see how Woody Harrelson is going to be like this Carnage. Like, that's going to be interesting.
I think he could pull off Carnage. It's just, goddamn, he's fucking in a red wig. And you can tell.
Why? What's with all these fucking fake red wigs?
What is this shit?
Cletus, just make him bald. Or just dye his hair. Like, what the fuck? I always thought Cletus Cassidy always reminded me of Jackie Earl Haley as Rorschach from Watchmen. Like, I always thought he would be a great Cletus. He's kind of got that crazy
I mean, as a kid, I really enjoyed Venom and Carnage.
Really?
So like, oh yeah. So like, there's a lot of kids that probably grew up in the 90s that were like, those characters are cool. So I'm sure I'm not surprised that this movie made a decent amount of money in this first week.
Well, yeah, because he's got the name recognition.
Yeah.
He's been in all those cartoons.
Yeah.
He's been in Spider-Man 3.
Yeah.
So he's been in video games. So people know Venom. Like, even if you're an old fuck from the 90s that used to read it when you were a kid, if you're a young kid who grew up on the Spider-Man cartoons, there's always a version of Venom in every Spider-Man cartoon. So you know who he is.
But I don't know why, if you're Sony, why you're now thinking, oh, Morbius. Nobody knows what the fuck Morbius is. Who's going to come see that?
What they want to do is they want to build their universe. They want to build like a universe where they can have these characters cross over with one another.
And I think they kind of want
Morbius. I feel like is going to shit the bed unless they do it like a Halloween type movie.
Yeah,
like a kind of scary.
So let me ask you this:
well, guess who's playing Morbius?
Your buddy,
your boy,
everyone's favorite Joker, the worst
Joker,
the worst Joker ever. Also, with James Gunn doing the Suicide Squad sequel, I don't think Leto's playing Joker again. I don't think they should let him. Just fucking cut him loose.
I mean, this is...
Don't let Leto.
Don't let Leto be Leto. All right, look, let's...
This movie, let me say this.
Yes.
You watch this movie. I mean, I don't know how you can watch this movie and not come out of it going... Man, that was dumb.
Because it's Imran.
I didn't say...
That's a disclaimer. It's an Imran.
I told you, it's dumb. Nothing makes sense. The dialogue is horrible.
If it has anything to do with Spider-Man, Imran's going to fucking give it a
I laughed
pass.
a couple of times. I was mesmerized by Hardy. I thought I would hate him, but it grew on me. So it's like, you're either going to love it. It's a dumb, fucking fun, dumb, campy, silly,
I don't hate
goofy
this
movie.
film. I just, I'm like, eh.
I don't hate it either.
It's just
but
there.
I can't just get away with being like, this was okay. Like, no, it's dumb, man. It's really bad. It's actually pretty bad.
I mean, it's definitely a wait till cable to watch it, you know.
So
it's not, but after Catwoman, when I saw a scene of two people walking down a hall that had 75 edits, like, this is way better than that. This, like, to me, was a fucking masterpiece compared to fucking Catwoman. Jesus.
I mean, the lead character you don't even get to know him as like a cool guy, and within 5 minutes of the movie happening, he already throws his girlfriend under the bus.
Yeah, it gets everyone fired. And
like, wait a minute, why am I supposed to like this guy?
You're not.
He's why is he?
He's likable, but
New York or like, why is it in San Francisco? What?
A lot of that was Georgia too. I think that's why they shot it.
It's Georgia playing. It's filmed in Georgia. It's Georgia playing San Francisco. What? For a character that is supposed to be in New York.
He's the worst investigative reporter there is. Also, he's the hilarious. There's so many hilarious unintentional parts too. Like, he happens to be sitting at the computer in the morning, exactly the moment she gets this classified email.
I swear to God, there's a scene where I swear to God, there's a scene where he walks into the fucking. I think it's to the Asian woman's grocery store.
Yeah.
Walks in when it's fucking nighttime, and then
comes
walks out in his daytime.
Oh,
like what is going? Honestly, man, this movie for me is closer to The Fucking Room than it is to like anything good.
The Room is fucking enjoyable. There's a scene where in that motorcycle chase where it's slow motion and the cars are flipping behind him, and you can clearly see it's not Eddie Brock. That also reminded me of Terminator 2 and Arnold's motorcycle jump shot where that's not Arnold, and they slow it down.
Last thing for me on this before you go to get to your point, like the goo coming out of his body. Yeah, for me, isn't that interesting or cool? Like if it was coming out of his arm, like he did it. Maybe, but like for it visually coming out of his back and chest, like I don't feel like that's all that cool to look at.
No, he doesn't control it, and that's the CGI. It's kind of like it's just easy CGI there. You just have it coming out of the back.
It's not visually all that exciting for me.
He's still very shiny.
I agree with this. I agree with Anthony's comments.
Okay, well,
so what do we want to give?
Let's rank the movie, people. All
right,
Anthony, start us off.
It's a 3.
Oh shit! Oh shit! All right.
The only thing that saves it is
3.
Ed Hardy knows, and he's in a shitty movie.
Yes,
and he's acting like
Tom Hardy's committed. Rugs.
Tom Hardy.
Ed Hardy. Who the fuck is Ed Hardy?
Ed Hardy. He should be wearing an Ed Hardy shirt.
That's that designer, isn't it?
Yeah.
Rugs. What's your number?
I'm gonna give it a 5.
All right. I'm like a 6.5. I'm gonna give it a 6.5. Fuck off. I had fun. It's a fun, silly, goofy movie. And they were smart to pick Tom Hardy. That's like the only thing that saved the movie. So But
realize when you go over 5 that means that this was actually good.
Yeah.
Average? It's average.
Oh my god.
Well, I think at 5, it's a movie.
At 5, it's so I
right. If it's under a 5, that it's not. It's not.
I guess everyone's got their own way of doing it.
You know me, I weight heavy. Mine are skewed towards the top, but I mean, I don't know. I've forgotten the movie.
There's a bunch of people that feel the same way as you. Right?
Like I feel like Batman and Superman, as much as I hate it, it's a movie.
Yes. Yes.
Right. So
it's a movie.
It's
just I can't be mad at people like, and I can't hate this movie. Like I don't see why you
Green
hate
Lantern. It was a movie. I don't think Catwoman was.
Catwoman was.
I think Catwoman was
a travesty.
Howard the Duck was not a movie either.
To give you a reference, I would rate Catwoman as a 1. So
okay,
Masters of the Universe was not even really a movie.
This is in a few years. This is gonna make a great "What the fuck happened" episode. That's also why I enjoyed it.
The thing about this is. We can already tell you what the fuck happened.
That's true. There isn't. This wasn't what the fuck happened.
They made it without Spider-Man.
Yeah.
They continued to make the movie without Spider-Man.
And
that's what the fuck happened.
They must have changed a lot of shit at the end to because it just seemed a little edited weird at the end. And
it's so weird.
I think this is what I've learned from this. Yeah. If you make the character look and act enough like the character. To a certain degree,
that's enough.
People will cash in to see it.
Yeah.
DC can learn. Do your Superman like that. It doesn't have to be. It just has to look like Superman and act like Superman.
It's just got to be a little bit like Venom.
And Man of Steel didn't even have that.
Nope.
It looked like Superman, but didn't act like it.
Wait, he's not going to save his dad?
I mean, he definitely
what the
acts
fuck
like
is this?
A Venom, like a version of Venom.
I like this version of Eddie Brock Venom, basically, what it comes down to. And I don't think it needs Spider-Man. Not right now.
Even I'm like, what? I don't even know what would happen in a sequel.
I don't know either.
What? You barely had a plot in this one.
I know. Well, it's going to be Carnage, and I don't know. Could he be? Look, Tom Hardy signed up for 3 movies, also. So we're getting 2 more.
One more thing?
Yeah.
Wasn't Carnage's thing that he can turn his arms into knives? He's a fucking serial killer.
I don't remember.
That was Carnage's thing, right?
He was just red and black and killed things.
But he liked to kill, and his arms were always like blades. But they already did that with Riot.
The symbiote can be whatever you want it to be.
That's true.
Yeah, they did it with him for 3 seconds.
Yeah.
And they burnt that one. They burnt that whole idea.
Yeah. Are these symbiotes dead?
Well,
who knows?
It's because Venom is a loser.
Eddie, I'm kind of a loser like you. I love hanging out here. Your girlfriend's hot. Go apologize to her. He's giving her relationship advice and shit. It's fucking wacky.
That's the only thing that works.
Yes.
Is that kind of weird.
That's what I'm saying. Just show me more of that. Fuck the story. Fuck all that. Just have him go into a movie, going shopping, just go into a bar, and something happens. I don't know. Let's move on to the mailbag. I got a piece of audio from David Malofsky. He sent in a Venom review.
Oh, he probably liked it.
And he's got an announcement. Well, Anthony, let's find out.
Let's see.
Hey, Imran, Anthony, and Rugberto. It's David Malofsky from A Place to Hang Your Cape. I just wanted to send you a quick review of
He's
Venom,
sitting in a bathtub having jerked off.
Well, let's put it this way. I was expecting Green Lantern, and I think we got about Justice League. I don't know if that's saying much. It wasn't as bad as I expected it to be. I think they actually really nailed the character of Eddie Brock and Venom. And I think Tom Hardy's performance is easily the standout of the whole film.
He's the only one that had anything to do.
The writing was pretty shit. The world building was pretty shit. Yeah. The super exposition-y lines were pretty shit. And the lack of Spider-Man was just the last nail in the coffin. I mean, it wasn't the disaster that we thought it would be. You know, it wasn't Fantastic. It wasn't Wolverine Origins. It wasn't even Catwoman.
Those are all worse movies.
That's how
it just wasn't good. It's hard for me to say it was good.
See, he's talking himself out of
I will say my favorite
good.
line from the whole thing was, let's bite off their heads and put them in a pile in the corner. Why would we do that? Pile of bodies, pile of heads. I don't know, that just really got me. And then the one line that made the whole theater laugh was, pussy. But yeah, I think I enjoyed it probably more than I expected to, which was kind of annoying because I had really been looking forward to just like ripping into it and talking about how bad it is.
That's how
I think it was just bad in a lot of really obvious ways. Anyway, I just want to give a quick shout out to Podcapers. We're now on Spotify, just like you guys, which is super exciting. And we also, for those fans who may remember, October 31st is the anniversary of A Place to Hang Your Cape. And last year we started a new tradition of celebrating that with a musical episode of Podcapers, which had some cameos by some very familiar voices from the Jock and Nerd podcast.
Ooh.
And we are doing the same thing this year. So we're doing something really fun with the show this year. We're actually going to be doing a spoof of Flashpoint called Scott Point. And I can't really say anymore because Scott hates me when I start to reveal spoilers. But it's going to be a really, really fun show. We've already started done most of the recording. We've got some brand new songs that I know you guys will love. And so tune in to Podcapers on October 31st. Jock and Nerd!
Jock and Nerd! I'll put a link to last year's Halloween special they did. Actually, dude, I was very impressed. Scott Meridew
he writes well.
Kills it. He writes well, and his line delivery, he's so committed. Like, I believe it. Meredith's got a career in voice acting, and they've written these whole songs, like whole spoof songs. It's a lot of work these guys put into there, and we will be a part of this year's also. Looking forward to that. All right, we got Matt Miller checking in.
What's up, nerdy jocks and jockey nerds? Matthew James back again. This week's SpeakPipe is absolutely loaded with tons of goodness for your ears, so let's get right into it. James Gunn is apparently in talks with Warner Brothers to write and even direct the new Suicide Squad sequel. I'm okay with this as long as he stays off of Twitter. It doesn't say anything else weird or creepy. We got Ruby Rose pictured in her Batwoman costume looking very sleek and cool. Her with red hair is something I don't mind seeing every day. She'll be the latest iteration of the character since we saw Alicia Silverstone dazzle us on screen and steal our hearts over a decade ago.
She's Batgirl.
Okay on that one.
Different character.
We got the new season of Flash premiering last night. Super big Flash fan, so I can't wait to see Barry Allen and his daughter Nora Allen from the future speeding around Central City saving the day like usual. Watched the new Aquaman trailer. All I gotta say about that is hype. He looked amazing in his traditional gold and green costume that we all know and love. I still don't like how he comes off as a frat boy bro with his one-liners, but anyways, he looked awesome. I can't wait to see this movie even more so than before. Black Manta is going to be the sleeper character of this movie. Take my word for it. I'll be seeing Venom later this afternoon. Kind of excited to see it. Heard a special symbiote by the name of Carnage will be making his appearance, or at least reference, at the end of the movie, so that's cool. Last but not least,
spoiled that for yourself. Huh?
The 250th roast episode coming out. Me and my friends will be joining it for that, and all the trolls, I'm sure, can't wait to have their day in the limelight. And Lupe Fiasco, the wordsmith, the technician, has come out with a new album called Drogas Waves. Go check it out. It's like a museum for your ears. All right, guys, take it easy.
Yo, I like Lupe. I didn't know he had a new album out.
I like Fiascos.
I like Fiascos. I like Fiestas.
Yeah.
That was a fiasco.
Thank you.
Lupe's great. Thanks, Matt Miller. I got an email from Ron Hans. He says, hey guys, sorry it's been a while, but I wanted to send you guys a message about the continued great content. I really like the Watchmen review. Thank you for getting to my movie quickly. Like Anthony, I had not read the graphic novel, so it was interesting to hear thoughts from all three of you. I was happy to hear you guys liked Iron Fist Season 2.
Oh, you like it?
Well, Ruggs wasn't on that episode, so I thought it might have tricked me with some cool visuals, but no, it was in fact a decent entry into the Netflix Marvel show. Like you, Imran, I thought the middle of the season was and the last two episodes really brought it back up. Season 2 would still be towards the bottom for me, but I would still have it above Season 1, Defenders and the second half of Luke Cage, Season 1. Fuck Diamondback.
I'm with you, Ron.
Pause real quick. Ruggs, give me a one-line review of Iron Fist Season 2.
Better than the first one.
Good. Works for me.
That's about it.
I was underwhelmed with the final battle or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like it built up to that shit. It should have been epic.
You didn't like
there's nothing epic going on.
You didn't like the
in
two
these
fists,
shows.
red and white, meeting together? No, there's nothing epic.
You're right.
It was better than the first season, but still at the bottom.
But I mean, Marvel's has a problem with these TV. I mean, Netflix is they gotta like cash out. They gotta make it worth your while.
That's a good point. They've never ever cashed out huge on the final battle.
Just think about this. Game of Thrones is the king of this.
Yeah.
Every season there's one scene or one fucking thing that just they cash out. They fucking plant their flag down and go, look, you're gonna remember this fucking scene.
Yep.
And Marvel doesn't do that. So there was one scene in Daredevil, the stairwell scene and the hallway scenes. Those are the two things that stick out to me. They haven't done that in years.
I think this Daredevil season 3 that's coming out next week is gonna bring some of that. It looks fucking amazing, and it looks like it may bring the stakes back up. Okay, back to the email. He says, I gave a good chunk of my thoughts on the Venom movie on the Nation page, but I was personally hoping this movie tanked so that Sony would have to rethink the whole Spider-Man-less Spider-Verse.
Good
right?
point.
But an $80 million opening weekend domestically is not going to help that for me. Only thing I liked about it was the interaction between Eddie and Venom. Outside of that, it was an extremely forgettable movie. Yeah, see? Everybody says the same. Anywho, that's all for now. Have a great show and keep up with the great content. By the way, you mentioned a few shows ago about someone who bought a Geek Boner shirt. That someone was me. Geek Boner.
Hey.
I will post a pic of it sometime soon for you guys. Thanks, Ron.
Just only wearing that, though.
Yeah, nothing else. You can't be wearing anything else.
I want to see like a little bit of dick.
Just a little bit. Just like in the Batman Damn comic. I want to see a little circumcised.
Yeah.
And then he ends, by the way, I know you like a lot of forms of art, Imran, so I wanted to pass my photography website on to you. Might not be your thing, but I wanted to share anyway. I'll put this link in the show notes. If you go to surfingeye.com, Ron Hans has a great eye for photographs. He has beautiful photographs of the coast and the surf and surfers and the ocean and water. You're very good, Ron. These are some great shots. You guys taking a look at any of this? Click that link.
Nice, good.
Gorgeous nature, landscape photography, all based around the beach. And these are just beautiful shots that you could sell as like stock art, Ron.
Yeah, Ron.
That guy is guy's talented.
There's some chicks doing yoga.
Yeah, check the show notes, listener, for his stuff. Anthony, Felty League update time.
Here's the National Felty League update.
Thanks, Ruggs.
Do something a little different. I'm going to congratulate the winners this week.
Okay.
Halftime retirees, Blake Braden. B. Mathis with the Revengers. J.S. Rivera with the Chicago Web Slingers. Matthew Lawrence, Game of Thrones. Roberto Rivera, Felty Falcons. OJ's Parole Board, Chaz Hebern. And Chris Williams, Stark's Raving Hazelnuts, all winners this week. So congratulations to the winners.
All right.
I'm not going to update the standings this week. So.
No standings, but those are the weekly winners.
Week's winners. Good job, guys. I lost again.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
You've only won once?
I've only won once. I am officially out on trying here.
Lots of football left, people. Still anybody's game.
I got one other thing.
Okay.
We mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
If that Game of Thrones live concert comes to your area, check it out.
Oh, yeah. You mentioned that on the Patreon.
Oh, you went to see that?
I wanted to see that.
It was awesome, man. It was like goosebumps.
What was the visuals?
They play the Thrones scenes in the background, but they supercut it.
Oh, shit.
So they'll for instance, they start off the show with the theme, obviously.
Yeah.
But then they'll go into the Stark family and play some Stark music. And then they'll go into the scene, the Battle of the Bastards, for instance. They'll supercut that and play the music that they played throughout the entire Battle of the Bastards.
So you get to watch this awesome shit again and then hear it
and then
live.
There's fire coming out whenever the dragons.
No.
Yeah, it's every time Daenerys is Dracarys, the music stops and she's like Dracarys, and the fire shoots out of stage. There's the stage is a really elaborate setup, so there's a tree in the middle.
It's been a while since I've watched the show.
They shoot snow down.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I love the opening theme song. It's so fucking good, and
you don't realize how awesome the music is and how much music really has a factor in making things that much better until you watch something.
I always watch the opening theme because that music got me hyped for watching every episode, and I would listen to it every time.
The composer of it is the guy that is on the tour.
Oh, and so he's actually. What's another one of your favorite pieces? Because I'm trying to think of what's another iconic tune, something you would recognize right away.
Whenever there's the scenes with what's her name, Daenerys. Every time Daenerys is on screen, it's whoa.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
And the scenes where they're holding her up as Misa, or when she's in the fire, it's
it's the tribal music stuff.
All this epic stuff. I don't even know how to
That's awesome.
describe it.
No,
it's so good.
I like listening to Anthony.
I remember seeing that advertised, and I was like, "This is gonna be fucking sick."
It's really
because
good. It's really good. It's like 2 hours.
I saw Marvel Universe live. I don't know if it was as good as that, but I'm sure there was not as many kids.
It's played up more like a play or an orchestra, like a play, because there's like a first act and then they like a break and then there's like a.
Did they go through like the whole 8 seasons or 7 seasons?
All 7 seasons.
Wow.
Because this is the second time they've gone on tour in Chicago and that they didn't have season 7 music then.
Damn, that's awesome.
The dude was like, he goes, I need to create the music for all of this, so yes, I have seen all the episodes already.
Oh shit!
What a dick!
I have to watch everything and then put the music to it.
That one dude has seen the new season of Game of Thrones.
He watches everything before everyone.
Yeah.
He's got to figure out the music for it.
When is that coming out? January? What the fuck? No, like mid
2019. We don't know when.
Fuck.
They're done filming though.
They won a bunch of Emmys, so they won like best show, and Tyrion won Emmy, which he deserves.
What was cool too is like they'll show the characters on screen and people will cheer. For
Oh man! Oh, that sounds like so much fun. So if it's coming,
you relive all the great moments.
If it's coming to your town, listener, check it out. If you're Rugs over on your Twitter at @ReallyRugBoy, you had a fun poll you put up.
Yeah.
The poll was who wins in a hand-to-hand fight. I want to know your thoughts, Anthony and Rugs. Your selections are James Bond,
right?
Ethan Hunt,
right?
John Wick, or Jason Bourne. Anthony,
So I figured all of the like spy
fighters,
like assassin,
I like this grouping.
License to kill motherfuckers.
I like this, and they're like real people. They're not like a supernatural.
I wanted to put more.
I know, you can only do 4 in these fucking polls,
and you can only do 4. So I was gonna do like a couple more, but like I had to choose.
Anthony, who would you choose?
Sorry, I was texting. Say that again.
Of course you were fucking texting. Am I talking to myself? Oh, shit. Who wins in a hand-to-hand fight? James Bond, Ethan Hunt, John Wick, or Jason Bourne?
John Wick.
Oh, shit. I have the results of the poll. I also voted John Wick. The poll closed with Jason Bourne just edging him out by a little bit.
It's a toss-up between those two.
Yeah, John Wick or Jason Bourne would definitely win. Good poll, Rugs. That really Rug Boy. Put more of those up.
I don't want to because they're all limited. I got mad while I was doing
It's
it.
like, oh yeah,
I was like, only 4?
Yeah, fuck this.
That's it? I'm like, I got like a whole list of people I want to fucking have fight.
Meanwhile, find Rugs where? At the Jock and Nerd Nation and on Twitter.
Yeah, really Rug Boy.
Yeah, really Rug Boy. If you want to hear more of me talking about Venom, check out this week's episode of Zeng This. Justin Zenger got to me first. I saw the movie Sunday, and then I recorded his podcast Sunday night. So fresh thoughts on that one. And then if you want to hear Matt Delhauer, our very own Ginger Geek, review Venom, listen to the latest episode of Voice from the Underground podcast with our buddies Jason and DJ Johnson and Big Haas. And I'll put a link to that. Spread around the independent love. That's it for the show, listener. Thanks for hanging out. Tell a friend. That's the most important thing you could do. Word of mouth helps the show get bigger, better, girthier, wider, longer, and more venomlicious.
And hairier.
And hairier. Knock, knock, let the devil in. You're going to get my venom. Thanks for listening to the Jock and Nerd Podcast. My name is Imran.
My name's Anthony.
He's the Jock.
He's a nerd.
We'll catch you next time.
We're a turn in the wind, guys.
Yes. I see that you know your judo well.
Turn in the wind.
The movie was kind of a turd. Eddie. I like it here, Eddie. Can we get some tater tots and chocolate?
Eddie, hungry now.
Hungry, Eddie.
He basically had the Cookie Monster.
Yeah, it was like Audrey 2 and Seymour and Little Shop of Horrors also, where it's fucking feed me all.
Eddie.
He's preoccupied with food.
Jock and Nerd.